Hey guys, it's Jay from Smite Studio. This is my first video on the channel, and today I thought to make it something really easy, I would do a design with me. So come along with me as I design some social media that I have on one of my social media accounts. You can maybe hopefully learn some tips, and I'll go through the process as I design. So why don't we head over to the computer and you can follow along. And we're going to get to work. So I've already had a kind of look. I kind of like this idea that we had originally with the girl and the sort of floating idea. I really like that, and I think I want to play off that. So here you'll see I kind of like this idea, but maybe it's a little bit too small. This is kind of cool, this whole floating concept. And I kind of don't mind this one as well. But I was going to have a quick look and see what else is out there, see if there's anything that's perhaps better than these images, and then we can get to work on making the new image. Let's just try both of these. So it's going to download these images. So the quickest way, easiest way that I've found to remove backgrounds is to basically come over to your quick selection tool, or your Magic Wand tool. And here you'll see that you have the option to click, and that's kind of the hard way to do it. So you can click on and do it that way. But as you'll see at the top, you've got select subject and select a mask. So I'm just going to go select subject, see what Photoshop does. So as you'll see, it's already kind of marked out pretty great. Yeah, it's a pretty great mark out of the subject. And then I'm just going to mask it. So, oops. I'm just going to mask that. So why I'm masking it and not deleting it is because I'm a big believer in non-destructive art. I think if you can try and do things in a non-destructive way, so if you ever need to go back and change things, it's still all there, it's still easy to do. So here you'll see, even though it wasn't masked properly, I can bring back elements that were missed by simply erasing the areas that I don't want masks. So here, I think there's a pretty great representation of this person all cut out. There's some sections here I don't really love, so I'm just going to basically take off the section that I don't like by simply clicking that section, clicking on the layer, and then we're going to go to Content Aware Fill. So it's not always a perfect outcome, as you can see here. Didn't really do an awesome job. So you kind of have to tell it what you don't want it to be. Sometimes it works great, sometimes it doesn't. I wouldn't say that is perfect by any stretch of the imagination this time around. But I think we're going to roll with it for now. I think that's fine. We're going to move on with that. Once you put all the effects over it, you're not really going to notice some of this stuff. So I think it's just easier just to move on. So I originally started this artwork last week. I downloaded this light overlay effect from Creative Market. It was really cheap. It was only $9. I thought, that's a steal. I could do it myself, but I'd rather just not take the time to worry about it, especially for something this is just for fun. So I don't want to spend too much time on it. So it had quite a few options. I'll link this in the description below if you want to check it out yourself. It was really helpful. As you'll see, there's just a whole bunch of different lighting effects. They're all PNGs, so that just means that they're transparent background. So they're really great for Photoshop files because you can basically just drag and drop, and you've got this cool effect. So now it's for all the fun things. So I'm going to take these feathers because I think they're kind of cool, drag them into this. So now I've kind of already started here with this guy. I There's nothing wrong with it. It was just, I thought, not as good or as strong as this. So I'm just going to take some of these elements because I thought there was nothing really wrong with it. Here I created a noise layer. So noise is really helpful sometimes when you just basically want to create a bit of a more layered and textured effect. It really helps to bring graphics together, especially if they're a mixture of different things and they're not all the same. The lighting could be different. It helps to kind of bring a bit of a color correction as well sometimes by just muting all the colors and kind of making them all the same. And like I said, I'm just going to steal some of this stuff, make it look like he's jumping on a cloud. And some of these lighting effects as well that I had previously from that lighting pack. Yep, so this is starting to look like something. So I'm just going to put that back up to the top again, see what's missing. It's a little bit dark behind him. So I think I'm going to fix that. Okay, it's not bad. Because, like I was saying before, I'm a big believer in non-destructive design. I don't mind this. I think it's a little bit dark though, that's a problem. But again, I don't really want to spend too much time on this. This is really just for fun, so just so it kind of pops a little bit outside of the image. And then I will do another motion blur on this. Yeah, I'm not sure, not sold. So what I think I'll do is I will just keep this for now. And I'm going to save, I'm going to basically duplicate this. And what I think I'll do is I will take out the stock photo of the guy and I'm going to play with the other photo. So the same process that we were doing previously, subject select. This time Photoshop had a harder time because there is so much going on in this picture already. So we're going to have to do some editing to kind of make this work a little better. Rasterize the layer, and then I'm going to again take out this logo because I don't really like logos on graphics. Great. Now he's just got a great, clean, black shirt. We're going to take these layers and once I click on them properly, we're going to merge layers. So now that becomes one layer, and I'm going to do a motion blur again. Yep, great. Maybe the background could be darker. So here we kind of have a blackish background. Let's have a look. Let's just see what that looks like. Yeah. A lot of the time with this kind of stuff, it really is just experimenting. I really have no idea what I'm designing until it kind of happens and it's finished and it looks good, but a lot of the time I really have no idea what I'm doing. It's really just making it up as I go. A lot of it is just trial and error until you kind of find something that looks right and makes sense together. So basically what I'm doing now is just trying to play with, I'm just going to turn that layer off, play with positioning. So positioning is a really big deal when it comes to design. Positioning is kind of everything really when it comes down to it. You can have all the elements on the page, but if it's not positioned right, it's not a good design. So here I'm going to go back into my lights and see if there's something maybe a bit more interesting that we can add into the background. So this is looking better. I'm going to go into my working elements, which is kind of my database of elements that I've saved over the years. And in here, I'm going to find these butterfly wings that I had from last time. Kind of want to make it look like wings without literally just looking like a butterfly is stuck to his back. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. I'll hide that. So I think the idea is there with these wings, but I do think that they probably need to be colored. So what worked here in this instance is we had the color of the wings show up on the girl. So I think for it to really work properly here, we probably need some colored wings. So let's just have a look here. This gold colors, that's nice. There we go. I think that's going to stand out way better. Cool. So I think what I'm going to do now is just add some shadow underneath it. So you can do this many ways. You don't have to do it this way, but I think I'm just going to do it this way. Simply, all I'm really doing is just adding some dimension to the wings themselves so they don't look like they've just been placed on there, because that's not really realistic. Yeah, great. Perfect. This is starting to look really good. So yeah, this has taken us 30 minutes. Sometimes that's shorter, sometimes that's longer than what I really want to spend on doing a graphic, but sometimes it takes that long to refine it, to get something that you're happy with, and to make sure that it's going to be good enough to post that, looks good. So I'm pretty happy with this. So these are the final two images. I'm pretty happy with them. I hope you learned something. I hope I taught something that was useful. You might have picked up a little tip here in there. This is a really good episode, I guess, for photo editing and just kind of tweaking designs and how to add layers and elements and textures into your final design that make it just look so much better as an end result. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I'm going to go post these on social media and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys. See ya.